What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. I did not know about this, and I'm pleased, but I also bring you a teaspoon of caution. Apparently, the white devil that is responsible for the cold-blooded savage murder of Antwon Rose has been charged. Let's see this clip, and then we'll come back and deal with the article and get into the information.
We're also following some more breaking news. The East Pittsburgh police officer who shot and killed 17-year-old Antwon Rose, he has been charged with criminal homicide. Investigators say Michael Rosfeld shot Rose last week as Rose ran away from a car after a traffic stop. The teenager was unarmed. His death has sparked days of protests across Pittsburgh and beyond. CNN's Athena Jones is in Pittsburgh, where the district attorney just released some more detail about what all has happened. Athena, what did you learn?
Hi, Kate. So much information coming out of this press conference with District Attorney Stephen Zavala that just wrapped up. We know that he wants the jury, they're going to ask the jury to consider all levels of homicide. It's unclear whether this will be first degree, second degree, third degree, but he says the evidence supports the third degree, but they want to be able to argue for murder in the first degree. The penalty for that is life in prison. The district attorney described Officer Rosfeld's act as an intentional act done recklessly and said there was no justification for it. Antwon Rose did nothing in furtherance of a crime, and so that is why right now they would ask the jury to consider all levels of homicide. Stephen Zavala said you do not shoot someone in the back if they are not a threat to you. He said he didn't know exactly how many seconds passed between Officer Rosfeld stopping this vehicle and shooting Antwon Rose, but that it happened very, very quickly. We also know we're going to be getting some new video from the scene, and there were a lot of questions about the training of this particular officer. While Zavala would not get into his past history as a police officer, he did say that some of that history left them with concerns and that there was almost no training in the East Pittsburgh Police Department. Kate?
Well, all right, Athena, thank you so much. So much going on there. We need to stick close to that.
No, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because they're already starting at the gate with trying to give him wiggle room. Well, all levels all degrees of murder are on the table. Just all of them. No, this was first goddammit degree. First goddammit degree. And then you heard them say, well, he said he was unsure about how many seconds were involved between the time of the stop and the time he shot him. In other words, they're going to try and nitpick there and try and use time as a reason not to give him first damn degree. And don't give me training, which is the other thing they mentioned, because I already told you this asshole was 3 hours into his first shift. If you ain't fresh when you come out the showroom, you ain't never going to be fresh. So we could allow for somebody who's been on the job for 15 years. Maybe they forgot their training and they hadn't been re-upped in a while and this and the third. But don't give me, I'm 3 hours out of the fucking academy essentially, and I get any benefit of the doubt. That's why I said I'm giving you a teaspoon of caution, everybody, because you're still dealing with this white devil. Still. And the only thing they understand is injustice. That's it. Injustice, unfairness, unrighteousness, immorality. Keep going. These are the attributes to describe this entity. This is an outrage. It's an outrage already, before we even get to the damn article. We're just using this to buttress what's going on? To buttress that video clip to see if there's anything new or any more detail here that, because that was just a quick little clip, on the news, so they, whatever. So, but maybe there'll be a little bit more detail here in the article. Antwon Rose Jr.'s death. East Pittsburgh paid murderer and devil charged with criminal homicide. Now, we do love that wording there. Criminal homicide. See? Because after that, then you start getting down into manslaughter and, oh, I may have had a paper cut or something. Criminal homicide. That means it's outside of, in other words, you're being charged just like anybody else on the street and not being charged under that police blue line bullshit. There's a difference, everybody, because they get different charges than the rest of us. So murder for them is a different thing. You see what I'm saying? So this is very important to see that word, criminal homicide. Criminal homicide. That's very important. I can't even tell you how important that is. Criminal homicide. Criminal. Write the word criminal down. Write it. It's very important. So while we love that, we are not, we know that's not the end all be all. You understand? And we also understand that it doesn't matter what they write or do, they always make sure they hand us the shitty end of the stick. That we're clear about. We're under no illusion. Now, this is from the 27th. All right. Excuse me. The East Pittsburgh Devils, who murdered in cold blood our young prince, 17-year-old Antwon Rose Jr., on June 19, has been charged with criminal homicide, according to court records. East Pittsburgh Police Devil was formally charged Wednesday morning. In a criminal complaint filed in the case, detectives cited witnesses who said Anton clearly had nothing in his hands when he was shot, contradicting this asshole's initial what this asshole initially told investigators. Listen, I want to be clear. It doesn't matter if he had a hand grenade in his hand. The fact of the matter is, he was running away from this asshole, and he was not a focus of their, high quotes, investigation. Remember, this was just a suspicion that they were pulling this car over on. And so when you pull a car over, your engagement is with the driver, especially in something like this. It wasn't like, oh, 5 men robbed a bank, and so we see 5 men in a car, so therefore all of them are being suspected. This was something a little different. And indeed, they ended up letting the driver of the car go. So this was a non-event, essentially, and this brother is dead. Dead. I'm over it. In a criminal complaint filed in the case, detectives cite... Oh, I just read that. Damn it, Jedi. You need to get your act together, dude. Antoine's family stood by crying and wearing t-shirts that read, "Justice for Antwon." I'm so sick of the tears and the t-shirts. The tears and the t-shirts. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. As their attorney spoke at a press conference on Wednesday, attorney Lee Merritt said the family is, quote, cautiously optimistic, end quote. See, he's echoing my feelings, because that's how any African would feel. That's why I said a teaspoon of caution at the very beginning. Because why? I have my black card, homie. And my eyes are wide open. I understand my enemy, my environment, and my condition, and I'm under no illusion. So it's very satisfying to see that quote, and that it's actually in quotations. He said the family is, quote, cautiously optimistic, because we have to be, about the charges filed against this asshole, but said criminal charges alone are going to be insufficient. Okay, then there is going to be more here, because now I want to know this. Quote, "We're in it for the long haul." Let me make sure I read that right. But criminal charges alone are going to be insufficient. Yeah. All right. We are in it for the long haul to see this process through to conviction. The devil was conducting a traffic stop of the vehicle that Antwon was riding in, which the devils said fit the description of one used in a drive-by shooting that night. Just a second. It wasn't nighttime when he was shot. It was like late afternoon. Excuse me, damn. We've seen the footage. It's a minor detail at this point, but I'm noting it as something that stood up to me in case something else comes up, all right? It fit the description of one used in a drive-by shooting that night, really. He told investigators that he had ordered the driver out of the car and down on the ground when Antwon got out of the damn vehicle and got ghosted. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Because you're a teenager, you see the shit that's happening in your world. You know that you are the hunted. This motherfucker didn't come up to the window and say, "Good afternoon, how can I, how's everything?" and pleasantries and shit. It's get out of the car and get on the ground. Antwon understands this shit could go either left or right. Let me get out and be out. And even though it's very, very devastating that our brother is gone, I stand behind his decision. I stand behind it. I stand behind it. Damn it. According to Allegheny District Court, Allegheny County District Attorney Stephen Zappala, Antwon can be seen on witness video showing his hands before fleeing. No weapon was found on his person. See what I'm saying? I remember when I first brought you the very first story that I did on this, I told you we can't really see anything. You just see somebody running, but I told you at the beginning, like, this video is really nothing. It's really nothing. You can't see anything, and All right. Damn it. The devil first told investigators that Antwon, quote, turned his hand toward, end quote, this asshole who, quote, saw something dark that he perceived as a gun. This is the oldest shit in the book. Who's the joke on, everybody? Who's the joke on now? Because everybody that's not even African in this fucking place knows that they say the same tired-ass line every time. I was in fear. I thought it was a gun, even though it was a fucking lollipop. Whatever. That's why I tell you the responsibility is on us. It's on us. As Malcolm said, and then there was another brother that I was listening to sometime recently, and he was saying that no people have ever, I'm paraphrasing his words now, but no people have ever attained freedom by appealing to morality. You just don't. You saw how much of a damn they gave about Dr. King. And he was the Prince of Peace and reconciliation and get along and fuck all of that. You don't go up and negotiate with a damn wild animal. You can't. 'Cause why? It's a wild animal. He perceived as a gun. But when asked to repeat this vomit of events, the liar's story changed. Of course it did. All you gotta do is look at his face and you know there's a forked tongue that comes out of his mouth. That's it. During the rendition, this liar told detectives that he did not see a gun when the passenger emerged and ran. That's because he was on the driver's side, and Antwon gets out on the back passenger side and runs. You probably never even saw his face ever. You shot a human who you never even saw. I want you to think about the level of diabolical that's involved in that, everybody. The level. You never saw his face, and he's never done anything to you. And instead of being contrite and going in and saying, "My God, what have I done? I've murdered somebody." No. You're dealing with the spawn, the very carnate of the devil, who only lost any sleep worried about his fucking job, not the life he had taken. I ask you, why do we give a damn about theirs? When confronted with this vomitous ass lie, this satanic devil stated he saw something in the passenger's hand, but not sure what it was. It could have been, I don't know, maybe it was the sarcophagus of King Tut. Maybe it was his death mask. I don't know, I thought I saw a yo-yo. Quick, there had to be something in his hand. No, there was nothing in his hands. Ass wipe. Think about it. You hear how desperate that reads? I'll read it again. When this asshole is confronted with his vomitous lies and pablum, he stated he saw something in the passenger's hand, but wasn't sure what it was. Detectives, okay. In addition, this asshole stated that he was not certain if the individual who had his arm pointed at him was still pointing at him when he fired the shots. This is that Philando Castile defense, everybody. He thinks he's going to pull that. I was in fear of my life. You see? And again, everything is on purpose. So this picture that they released of him, notice he's not in his police hat. He's supposed to look like the all-American boy there. White potential jurors, because they're the only ones that have sympathy for this vomit, are supposed to look at him and imagine that he had to have been in fear of his life. He had to have been. That's why they porked up George Zimmerman before his trial. He was one size when he murdered Trayvon Martin, and then he shows up in court and he's a fat porpoise. That was on purpose. Criminal homicide is a broad category. Here we go. Is a broad category. Well, anything can happen. It's such a broad category that includes, here we go, manslaughter and murder. Just a second. Just a damn second. Because you don't even have to be a legal E. And most people don't usually associate manslaughter with criminal in front of it. Manslaughter is usually by default defined as you didn't mean to do it, but a life was taken. Vehicular manslaughter, you see, etc. But again, change the rules while we're playing the game. Well, it's such a broad category. I mean, it could include you being an airline pilot. I mean, you could be an astronaut. It's such a broad category. Even a paper cut is included. This is the vomit they're selling now. Homicide. Wait, I take that back. I take that back. Strike that, strike that, strike that. Because I didn't read that properly. Criminal homicide. Criminal homicide. The criminal taking of a life. No, I don't withdraw my statement. It stands. Criminal homicide is a broad category that includes manslaughter. Again, we don't usually connect criminal with manslaughter. I'm over it. Pennsylvania prosecutors typically specify what subsection of homicide they will pursue later in the case. See, in other words, we're not going to show our hand yet. We'll wait and see how things play out, and then we'll play it according to that. That's what they're saying there. Because that's a sentence all by its own. Nobody was even asking for it. Why do they include that detail? To let you know that you're being fucked already. Because we already read the manslaughter murder, boom, period. Then it's on its own island. Well, Pennsylvania prosecutors typically specify what subsections of homicide they'll later in the case, so that's not something you want to get into now. A medical examiner, probably a liar, determined that Antwon was struck in the cheek, exiting through the nasal passage. Let me contemplate that for a moment. Well, I need more. The right elbow from behind, okay, my right, excuse me, and in the mid-back, which was the fatal shot. That was probably his spinal cord, or either his heart or something. Zapala said during a press conference Wednesday the bullet lodged in Antwon's chest and was determined to be from this asshole's gun. The liar's actions were intentional, and he was not acting to prevent death or serious injury. You don't shoot somebody in the back if they're not a threat to you. Well, even if they're a threat, if they're back to you, if their back is to you, they're not a threat. So he just misstated that. I mean, I'm not going to jump on him right now, but still, I have to call it as bullshit. It just is. Damn it, I said it. Criminal homicide, here we go again, is a broad category that includes manslaughter. They already said that already. Now they repeated that whole thing. Zapala said the officer's actions clearly support a third-degree murder conviction, but they will ask the jury to consider a full range of charges, including first. Listen, they charged those dudes in Baltimore, those young brothers that ran over that damn bitch-ass cop, with the highest charge. And they were fleeing for their life and being shot at. This was on purpose. The fact of the matter is that they know that 99% of African people that they engage with, they know we're not fucking armed. And that shit needs to change. That's why they keep fake guns to drop on you and all this kind of bullshit. We can no longer stand and be slaughter everybody. You got to make some damn attempt to save your life. Something. You don't just go down without a damn fight. Again, so I am throwing Zapala's ass because now he's all this tough talk here. You don't shoot somebody in the back unless they're a threat. But then his bitch has the same one. Well, his actions clearly support a third-degree murder conviction. See, because first-degree murder would be fucking life in prison, and that's what the fuck we want. Because Antwon is not coming back. And until her last breath, his mother will have to shed tears for her son. That makes me sick. That makes me sick. The sickest, even. Because, you know, it's one thing for both parents to lose their child. And, you know, we always honor the father. But I am always going to err on the side of the mother. Because this is the source of the life. The source of life. The source. The cradle of existence is the mother. And so her pain is deeper for me and more profound by default because of who she is and her divine place in the universe and at the side of the Creator when it comes to creating life. She participates in that miracle. She participates. This asshole Zapala now, the fucking turncoat, we'll call him, said it supports third-degree murder conviction, but they will ask the jury to consider a full range of charges. I mean, you could even get him from drunk driving. You could get him for open container. How about you get him for jaywalking too, huh? They're playing games, everybody. They're playing games. Including first degree. No, you go directly for that. It's like Obama with the Affordable Care Act. God bless him. He should have gone in and said, no, we want single fucking payer in this bitch. Period. But he started out in a place of negotiation. No. You always put something on the table that's outrageous so you can get what you actually need and want out of the deal. That's how you sweeten the deal of any negotiation. I'm over it. So, this Zapala is just sort of just limp-wristing around. Well, it's a whole range of things, and it could be lilies in the field, and we don't know. It could be a volcanic ash, we just don't know. And then also including first-degree murder. It's like you go to a restaurant and you want a steak. And you go, yeah, what's your best steak here? And the bitch starts telling you every fucking thing on the menu except for a steak. I'm over it. The turncoat said that the devil is remorseful. Why are you adding that? Wait, let's re-identify who the fuck Zapala is, because he's on my ass right now. District Attorney, huh? So he's actually trying to act like he's talking tough, but he's standing up in the corner for this fucking satanic-ass devil. Where are we at now? I lost my damn place. I'm worked up. Including first-degree murder. And then he just adds it. Again, it's on an island all by itself with its own period. The turncoat said the devil is remorseful. Oh, well, quick, everybody. Nothing to see here. He's remorseful. Let's all go back to what we were doing then. He's remorseful, turns out. That doesn't mean anything. It's empty. Again, this is signaling to white jurors, everybody. That's it, because there's nobody else to signal to, because anybody else in that bitch will see actually what truth is, and they would act thusly. The only people that go into fucking courtrooms and dispense bullshit is fucking white jurors. That's it. That's it. I will also share with you that the attorney, was it this case? Wait, I'm getting cases crossed up. Wait, let me think now. Yeah, we're up there on somebody talking. And both of them were saying, they just kept stressing, you know, that we hope we can get an impartial jury, you know, and, you know, without implicit biases. And they kept saying it. I'm like, just come out and fucking say what you're trying to say. Stop dancing around these fucking fragile-ass fucking people. CBS Pittsburgh reports that, according to sources, y'all know we don't like sources, and officials and authorities, you know, name names, goddammit. But here we go. Sources. This satanic fucking devil ass fuck had only been on duty in East Pittsburgh for 3 weeks. And he was formally sworn in only 90 minutes before he murdered our young prince. 90 fucking minutes. Couldn't wait to get out there and start killing. I saw a video earlier. It says harassed by police. I wish I could find it. I will link it for you. It was some white devils out of the lake doing something. They didn't have a vest on or something, and a black cop shows up. And they act like as if he had fucking served them the fucking search warrant for cocaine or something. And I typed on that fucking channel, get the fuck over it. Get over it. Because black people are killed and are being killed for far less than this every single day, even now. This was nothing. But he bitched about it as if it was like I just couldn't, dude. I couldn't. You see what I'm saying? That's why I would say your enemy, no matter what you're dealing with. You could be playing checkers, you could be riding a bike, you could be a coworker, it could be anybody, it doesn't matter. A family member, a spouse. When someone transgresses against you, your enemy must feel exactly what you feel. Exactly what you feel, and must experience that before there will ever be reconciliation, unless it was an innocent act by mistake. You see, mistakes happen, that's fine in life. But your soul tells you it. You knew the person didn't mean it. You knew it was not intentional. We absolutely rush to dispense forgiveness and all those sorts of things for that. We're not in that realm. We wish we were. But damn it, we're not. This asshole had been working as a devil in the region since 2011. Excuse me. He had previously worked in Hammers, or wherever the fuck he worked. I don't care. And I don't care, and I don't care, and I don't care. And was reportedly dismissed for cause from the university. Alright, what were you dismissed for? The university turned his personal file over to the county investigators as part of the investigation. In other words, that means your ass can't see it right now. Antwon's family attorney said they have filed a writ to obtain his personal file. I love it. I love it. I love it. What did I just say before we even saw that? Because I was like, well, that means your ass can't see it. And the next sentence says, well, he's filed to see the shit. They said they believe it would show, quote, prior egregious behavior and a history of falsifying reports and being a lying ass fucking devil. asked by reporters if he saw anything in this asshole's past employment records that raises concern, the district attorney, Mr. Turncoat, said yes, but declined to elaborate. Because the district attorney is in bed with this asshole, do you understand? District attorneys, prosecutors, judges, they're all the fucking same. They are all the same. We have no sympathy whatever for them. Is this the asshole too? Look, and they're trying to make him look like the golden boy there, everybody. Huh? Look, there was this picture. Now he's all, oh, he's just the golden boy in all of it, huh? This is on purpose. This is on purpose. This is on purpose. Let me scan down to see if there's any more pictures of this asshole. Who's this? In police uniform. Shows slain Bronx teen trying to hide in deal before attack. Oh, that's that kid that was killed. It was mistaken identity and all of it. Oh my God. Junior or something his name is. The shooting happened about 8:30 p.m. Okay, again, so it was still daylight. Alright. On June 19 in East Pittsburgh. These assholes were initially called to Kirkpatrick Avenue in North Braddock for reports of a drive-by shooting. At the scene, they found a 22-year-old man injured. That man was taken to the hospital, where he was treated and released for a wound to the abdomen that may have been a graze wound from a bullet or a building fragment, the turncoat said. The assholes obtained surveillance footage of a vehicle that was seen fleeing the scene of the shooting and alerted nearby departments. The drive-by shooter appeared to be sitting in the rear passenger seat. Huh? Come on now. So, why did you go up to the driver's side when you pulled this fucking car over? Why didn't you go over to the, why didn't you pull up to the back? On the passenger side. You see what I'm saying? It's the lies, everybody. If you just see through the lines, you see it there. The drive-by shooter appeared to be sitting in the rear passenger seat. Antwon was sitting in the front passenger seat of the vehicle that the asshole pulled over in East Pittsburgh around 10 minutes later. Huh? Somebody Hester, another passenger in the vehicle, fled and remained at large for a week. He was later located and arrested on June 26. He will face charges in connection with the shooting. Well, wait, you let the driver and everybody go, so why is he being charged for anything? Video shows the person who fired shots from the car in Braddock was in the backseat and wearing a dark t-shirt. That's any nigga in the hood right now. Any nigga anywhere. You don't just get to go on fucking clothing description. You understand? And most of these damn kids out there now are cookie cutter anyway. They all dressed exactly right. You see 20 of them walk up and they're all dressed the same, wearing the same shit. This means nothing. I'm getting worked up, damn it. Which, of course, ironically and no big surprise, this kid, Hester, was wearing, I think his name is Zejuan. Z-A-I-J-U-A-N, Zejuan. That's a cool name. I love that. Zejuan. That's tight. I've never seen that. Zejuan. That's tight. Anyways, which he was wearing, said the turncoat ass. Now, Antwon was riding in the front passenger seat and wearing a white t-shirt. Because we saw that even on the video when he gets out and runs. Other evidence indicates that Zejuan was the gunman. What evidence? What evidence? What evidence? Antwon was not involved in the North Braddock shooting other than being in the car, said the turncoat. We don't believe anything this fucking district attorney is saying. We don't believe him. We don't believe him, everybody. We don't believe him. By all accounts, Antwon never did anything in furtherance of a crime, said the turncoat. Zejuan was charged as an adult with aggravated assault. See there? They can charge him as an adult with aggravated assault, but we just don't know. It's too wide-ranging as criminal homicide when it comes to this fucking murderer. Oh, we just don't know what he can be charged with because we just don't know. He could be charged with chewing gum. It's so wide-ranging, we just don't know. But they're absolutely certain that Zhejuan is going to be charged with fucking, what did the bitch say? I lost my place. Aggravated assault, huh? Possession of a firearm by a minor, receiving stolen property, persons not to possess firearms, and criminal attempt. They got a whole book of shit to throw at him. But with this murdering fucking vomitous pablum puking devil, well, it's just so wide-ranging, we just don't have any idea what he'll be charged with. Neither Antwon nor Zhejuan were armed when this racist murderer opened fire. And he admitted he never saw a weapon, which he called significant. That's what the district attorney said. Fuck him. We're over Zapala, dude. We're over him. The turncoat said 2 weapons, both stolen, were found in the car. One of which was used in the Braddock shooting, and another that was linked to 3 or 4 other crimes. We don't believe them, because we know that they have a history of planting evidence and all the bullshit. We don't believe anything they say. There's no such thing as a good police officer. There is not. There isn't, because there can't be. I just resaw a story that we covered a long time back of this it was a female cop, that there was another cop that was speeding down the fucking highway, just breaking all records. She pulled him over and ticketed him or whatever the fuck. They fired her. Then we had a case, I think in New York or someplace, where this white devil cop was beating one of our brothers. And the sister stepped in to stop him from hitting him again. She was fired instead of the motherfucker that caused great bodily harm to our brother. There are no good police, everybody. If you believe that, I have a unicorn, a pink unicorn I'd like to show you. The asshole was placed on paid administrative vacation. I'm over it. The asshole's bail was opposed by prosecutors. I love that. Which way, maybe I'm getting happy too soon, which was opposed by prosecutors, was set at $250,000. That's not a lot, because usually they give us $1 million fucking bail. Huh? What was our brother that was Khalif Browder, that spent fucking time on Rikers Island and ended up killing himself? Was in there for fucking 3 years because he couldn't make bail, and had done absolutely fucking nothing. This asshole gets $250,000 bail, which you don't have to pay. You only have to pay 10% of that. But wait, was released as a preliminary hearing is set for July. Wait, if you oppose the bail, then how come he was set free? Because judges, district attorneys, prosecutors, and all that shit are the same. They're all evil, and fuck all of them, and the fat, greasy bitches that gave birth to them. The asshole's attorney, Patrick somebody, another liar, said he doesn't believe this is a murder case. Really? Because somebody was murdered. So what is it? Is it fucking Disney Pixar? What's going on? I don't believe it's murder. Said his client was in a dangerous situation. Fuck you. We're not talking about an old lady. Sat your attorney ass down. We're talking about a police officer whose very job is to be in dangerous situations. So sat your ass down. That's not a defense. Clearly the people in the car were armed. Clearly at least one person in the car was firing at somebody and shot somebody right up the road. Police devils are there to protect. No, because you just said your client was in a dangerous situation. So he wouldn't be there to protect. He'd have to be there to defend himself, because he's in a dangerous situation, huh? You see the doublespeak that's going on? He said he believes his client had the, quote, right to shoot under the law. Well, so did fucking Antwon. How about that? Did he have the right because he was white and this kid was black? That under the law bullshit is just window dressing. It's just gloss, everybody. Antwon's family attorney said the bail for low for a murder case. I think they meant the bail was low. I know, right? But I just tell you, I already balked at that $250,000. So the bail was low for a murder case, and said it would represent their first legal hurdle. See, that's why I opened this video saying with a teaspoon of fucking whatever I said, because I know this devil. I know it. I know it. This is window dressing. Because I always tell you, these fucking people don't ever like to be wrong. So for them to admit liability means that they were wrong. And they never can acknowledge that. This is just window dressing to try and put down some of the protesting that's been going on in Pittsburgh. That's all this is about. And hopefully our people will not fall for that shit. Hopefully they double their efforts. Double their efforts. How much more of this shit is there? I'm over it. We're done, everybody. We're done. We're done. We're done. There's just a sentence or two. The Rosfeld, they're very distraught, and I know it. I'm over it. I'm over it. You know, this once again reminds me, this boy looks very much like John Crawford, who was killed by white devil ass fucking police in Ohio. Same hair, same skin color, same lighting. It's just a revolving door, because what any sane person can see, even Stevie Wonder could see, is people only continue to pick on you when you don't give them a reason not to. When you show them that you pick on me and I will pick on you, you hit me, I'll hit you harder. So don't pick on me. We are people who have gone for generations and decades not hitting back. Not setting what we will tolerate and what we won't. That's why they keep coming with these fake ass fucking excuses all the time. This is why they so readily and easily lie. Because they're only afraid for their job. They're not afraid that we're coming for them. They're not afraid of that. They only need to worry about their job. That's all. And will they get their pension and all of it? Our history is nothing but police murder and lying to cover it up after the fact. Endless, 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 infinity endless. There's no such thing as justice and fairness. There is no morality. It's just let's kill, and continue to kill and see how much we can get away with. Subordinates only do what is co-signed on by superiors. That's in any structure, a family, anything. Hear this again. Subordinates only do what is co-signed on by superiors. Those assholes shot Laquan McDonald down like an animal in the street, lied about it. But they could do that because all the way up to the fucking governor or the mayor, Rahm fucking Emanuel, who looks like a fucking panda bear, all the way up to that, and the entire city, all their superiors were in on it. That's what you're dealing with. That's what you're dealing with. So it makes it a lot easier to understand the clarity when you begin to understand that these motherfuckers do come with bad intentions. Because anybody knowing that they could actually be in trouble on their job, no matter where you work, even in McDonald's on the fryer, has a different decorum and a different way of carrying themselves and dealing with situations when they know there's going to be consequence from their superiors. I'm trying to tell you, these are just the henchmen for all the shit that is. They're just the henchmen. Just like the fucking the soldiers that allegedly marched Jews off to the concentration camps and gas chambers and so forth. Everybody always wants to talk about Hitler. No, those motherfuckers that did it, those motherfuckers, you see, they should have been dealt with. Even now in Palestine, you have Israeli soldiers and military terrorizing the Palestinian people every single day, even as I speak to you. Your enemy is that fucking soldier and everything that he represents. You see? But you don't see the Israeli president. You don't see the fucking police chief. And you don't see the governor and the mayor and all that bullshit. And the prosecutor and the district attorney. You just see their fucking agent. That whole line is your damn enemy. Because all of them are colluding on your oppression, your murder, your death, and your incarceration. It's all of them. Every single one. So, we won't wait with bated breath on this. Because if you're asking for my prediction, this is just drama. Just drama. It's just drama. To make it seem like they were trying to do something right. But then, oh, it just turned out just like we already knew. It was justified and he's not guilty. Or some bullshit. You know. Or the district attorney decided to not bring charges or whatever. Either way, we get the shitty end of the stick. When are we going to stand up and hand that shitty stick right back to this fucking enemy? This is the Jedi.